My wife was carrying Alfie and she was 31 weeks pregnant. We came back from Adelaide, had a really long drive, hopped into bed, and that night her waters broke. So we didn't think it was for real. We kind of packed a joke hospital bag with bikini and books and stuff and got to hospital, and that was it. He was on his way. So he was born at 31 weeks and 4 days. I got to come in for what was still a magical birth, even though it was so unexpected. You know, I had my camera out. They were telling me don't look up, like don't come up. You know, you'll see too much. It's too gory. But I couldn't help myself. I was peering over, taking some pictures, and I just remember so vividly just feeling so reassured that he looked like a baby. I was expecting him to just not look as big and as well as he did. So that was an amazing moment, and I think even though it wasn't a normal situation, you know, I was able to cut the cord and be with Donna through that whole experience. So that was very special. Yeah, early days we were both there as much as we could be. Donna was often attached to the hospital grade breast pump, so I remember that whirring around. We'd just cuddle him all day long. The midwives would often say, like, has he spent any time in the crib today? Because he'd just be on us. As soon as we heard about kangaroo care, it was all about skin to skin and just cuddling him and reading to him and changing his nappy and doing all the things. You know, felt like parents from day one, and it was just all about being with him at that point. I imagine for dads and partners, sometimes it's you might feel like you're not as useful, especially if your partner is breastfeeding, and sometimes the focus can be on them. I actually do remember the first day I wasn't allowed to hold Alfie because he came out of the crib once, and it was so that Donna could have some skin to skin to encourage breastfeeding. And I found that tough. I was suddenly like, oh, I'm not kind of the same as her in terms of how we were treated. But I'd say, in terms of advice, just to get as involved as possible. There's so much you can do. There's so much that needs to be done. Taking care of communicating with family, being super involved with baby's care and speaking to the doctors. Doesn't mean you've got to be there the whole time, but just being there for the moments that matter most. There was all those nappy changes, early days with like 4 hands through the cribs in different places to try and hold pooey legs away from clean nappies. So I remember that well. Tiny pot of Sudocrem. And skin to skin, helped me feel so connected to him. Reading books. I remember my grandma sent me a set of spot books, and I didn't realise that they were just 1 word per page, so they weren't the best to read to a baby. I was like, ball, car. But lots of reading to him, and just being there, and also trying to be there for the doctor's rounds to hear what was happening, what was expected to happen over the next few days. It was important for me. I didn't want to just be receiving those updates from Donna, so it was important we were both there, or I was there for those updates. Taking Alfie out of hospital, you of course do the 20-mile-an-hour drive back, because you've just got this precious cargo that you haven't had in the car before. For us it was day 40 that he came home, and we snuck to the beach and took him out and just kind of wandered around with him, thinking, wanting to show him the waves, and just realising that he was ours to take home. I think for us, we didn't know anyone who'd had a premature baby. To me, I didn't even know that babies can survive and thrive from 24 weeks. So for us, I thought 31. I thought he'd be in the medical books, as the youngest child ever born. I just didn't know. So we didn't have anyone else to talk to about that. So anything we could do from that point to read and to understand and to connect with others was really important. And we've also been able to be that to other people, and that feels really special to share the stories and help someone else go through what we went through.